Good evening, everyone. Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritsma here. I think my voice is coming through all right. Let me know if you guys can hear me. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect right now for portions of the UP. I'm also going to add Ryan in here because he is in here as well right now. Screen's off, but he's in the back end of things. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. Go ahead and read off the information here. This is quite the severe thunderstorm rolling into Crystal Falls. National Weather Service in Marquette has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Iron County and southwestern Marquette County in the UP until 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. At 6:37 Eastern, 5:37 Central, severe thunderstorm was located over Wisconsin Slough Natural Area, or 7 miles south of Iron River, and this storm is moving northeast at 70 miles per hour. Ping pong ball-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are the possible hazard of this storm. It'll be near Way Dam, Biwabik State Park, Alpha, Gastras, Crystal Falls, Caspian, and Stambo. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Again, this is 1.5-inch diameter hail. Could be bigger, and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Looking at our radar here. Zoom it here. There we go. So this is the storm that's in question right now. So right over Tipler in Wisconsin. You can see a lot of pinks and blacks on radar right now. This is about to cross right into Iron River, actually doing that right now because this is moving out to the northeast at 70. If we switch over to CC, this is what's concerning to us right now. You can see this big blue area off the back end of the storm. This is what's called a third body scatter spike, or TBSS for short. Essentially, the radar beam is reflecting off of those hailstones down to the surface and causing weird, signatures behind the storm, essentially. On top of that, you can see inside the storm a lot of blues and greens going on. Again, anytime we see blues and greens on the correlation coefficient radar, that is usually non-uniform meteorological or non-meteorological objects. In this case, it is very spiky hail. Probably quite the hailstorm ongoing there right across the border right now. So if you know anyone living up towards Crystal Falls, south side of Iron River, Alpha, eventually heading over into portions of southern Marquette County here at some point, please let them know a hailstorm is on the way. So this is in the UP for those who are just tuning in. Storm motion, again, off to the northeast at 70 miles per hour. This is a level 1 severe thunderstorm warning at the current time, but it could be upgraded here in just a second as it is literally 0.25 inches away in diameter from becoming a considerable severe thunderstorm warning. Criteria for that is 1.75 inch hail, and we're at 1.5. Ryan, you're muted.
Do me a favor and share your audio to me where we're at, please.
Share the what?
The audio on your display.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Check your chat.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and time this out here on the radar, moving to the northeast at about 70 miles an hour. Let's go ahead and time this out. And we got to do that over again. Hold on. There we go. At 70 miles an hour. We're going to talk about some locations here. Mapleton in 5 minutes. Fortune Lake in 5 minutes. Alpha, 5 minutes. Rogers location, 5 minutes. Caspian in 5 minutes. Hiawatha in 6 minutes. Schaefer location in 7 minutes. Tobin in 7 minutes. A lot of weird names up here. Crystal Falls in 8 minutes. Kierman in 14, and then Floodwood in 23 minutes. So moving very quickly off to the northeast here at 70 miles per hour. Other storms are also to the west of this, over here by Watersmeet. Gotta keep an eye on that one as well, but obviously the one that we are concerned about is right here in the Caspian area.
How's the audio sound now?
I'm at your screen audio. I can't hear the warning ticker. I can't hear the intros or outros.
Oh, that's because I had everything turned. It's not set on monitor and display for that intro and outro.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, this is quite the hailmaker out there right now, as mentioned in chat. Anytime you do see these pinks and blacks, especially the blacks here, that is indicative of very, very heavy rain at the very least. But when you have DBZ values here in the around 70, this is at 68 right now. This is heading right over. It's going to give me some roads. State Line Trail. A lot of these are private roads out here, so there's not many road names. River Country Road. You have Whitetail Lane, State Line Trail, like I mentioned there, heading up towards Clements Drive, and then down the north-south road of Scott Lake Road and Nowicki Road. So those are all roads that are about to be hit by this hailstorm. Also, we have to mention that it is in effect for 60-mile-per-hour winds as well, presumably. It is a little far from the radar, but right now this entire meso is exhibiting some rotation. So we'll have to keep it monitored, I guess you could say, over the next couple minutes. As you can see here on the screen, this is going to be a mile above the surface, Ryan, but it is rotating at 106 miles per hour, just about a mile above the ground. So it is quite the strong mesocyclone. The entire storm itself is rotating. That doesn't mean it's rotating at the surface, but it is a supercell out there with nothing inhibiting it to the south. No other showers in the area kind of preventing inflow from being dirty. So that is the storm that's popped off. You can see compared to the storms down here, these are a lot less organized and more of a blob. So the ones that are out there all by themselves will be the ones to watch today, and you can see that right now as this heads up in towards Crystal Falls. This is Iron County in the UP.
We'll also mention the fact that it looks like it's trying to organize a bit more with that rotation. With the latest scan there, it looks like it's trying to get a little hook going on the back end there, so we'll keep an eye on that very closely.
Mm-hmm.
The atmosphere today up there is supportive of tornadoes. I do think the risk is a little higher with the line coming in later on this evening, but you cannot rule one out with these individual storms as well. You guys are watching from the UP and you have reports, storm pictures, hail reports, anything of that nature, feel free to send us a report via our Facebook group called Michigan Weather Reports. I have that pulled up here. I'll be monitoring that all evening. So if you guys do have those reports, feel free to communicate that with us here on the group.
Actually,
sorry if you heard something, that was an ad.
This warning goes up all the way into the south and west part of Marquette County. So Marquette County, I mean, for the majority of you guys, the warning's not for you. It's more so for this very far southwest corner there, near Witch Lake, to be exact. But this storm is moving pretty quickly here. So if you live in that southwest part of Marquette County, it'll be to you in about 15 to 20 minutes at the very latest.
See, the scans right now out of Marquette are about 3 minutes. So they did turn it on a little bit of a faster mode here. So we're getting radar scans every 3 to 4 minutes now, which is good. If you're in Crystal Falls, be prepared. This is moving off to the northeast at 70 miles per hour. So this will be in your neck of the woods in the next 5 minutes. Pretty much going to be going straight up US 141 here. A mesa is just outside of that severe thunderstorm warning. It's going to be very close. I think it's going to just miss you guys given its current track. But if it does a left split and heads a little bit up to the north, then it could hit you guys. But right now, current track, Crystal Falls points south of a mesa. So if you know anyone in southeastern Iron County right now, especially out here in the rural parts, this is a lot of rural areas out here. McMillan Road, you have... I hover over all these roads. They don't really have names because they're ATV trails, but you also have Deerfoot Lodge Road as well as Fence River Road. All these roads out here in extreme eastern Iron County, all going to be impacted, as well as Channing Road. I know Channing is up there, and that is just into Dickinson County, I believe. So all those roads I just mentioned up there in the severe thunderstorm warning as this hailer heads up your way. We have a super chat in here from Summer saying, just want to say thanks, love the new badges. No problem, Summer. That 999 super chat there. If you guys know anyone that is in the UP, we do not have too big of a UP following. For those who are watching here that are from the UP, welcome in. We do this all the time here in Michigan, no matter which county is under a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning. So if you know anybody that is a UPer, whether that is you yourself or friends and family, feel free to share the stream with them. That will definitely help in terms of preparation for tonight. As you can see here on radar, there's actually more training cells here in this open warm sector is what we call it here. A lot of clean inflow. You have temperatures down here in portions of west, or I should say just central Wisconsin. The temperatures of 78, dew points up near 60 right now. So it's a lot of moisture and warm air getting infected in right now into this storm. So the warmer the inflow, the better chance at an all hazards types of storms tonight, essentially. Waiting for a new scan. It looks like any upper level rotation is kind of going through maybe a cycling process. It is also tricky because up here right now temperatures are around 60 degrees, so it's a little bit north of the warm front right now. So these storms are slightly elevated. Still, when you have a storm that's elevated like this, this is still possible to bring in a lot of hail, especially with that elevated instability out there today. So keep that in mind. Just because you don't have a surface-based storm does not mean you are out of the woods. You can see right here in Crystal Falls, temperatures are near 58 degrees there right now. See, I thought I pronounced Amasa right, Amasa, and because I know that's the town that produces the March Madness basketball courts, and I saw the pronunciation for that was a little different than what it says. So I'll probably mispronounce it a couple more times tonight, so I apologize. Uper shared this live. Thank you. 59 degrees, 20 miles southeast of Florence. Yeah, it is not too particularly warm up there today, but on days like today where the overall atmosphere in general is just juiced like that with a lot of upper level instability, it will not hardly matter. However, if we do get warmer temps, a little bit easier to get severe weather. With the lakes also so cold right now, you also have that as a protector, I guess you could say, because that will cause a very low-level inversion, especially close to the lake, causing more storms around the lake vicinity to be elevated. So when these storms start getting up towards Escanaba, Manistee, for example, they'll likely become more not surface-based, but elevated in nature. And so a lot less of a tornado risk over here, but more of a tornado risk over here in the open warm sector, as I previously mentioned. A lot of that warm inflow feeding into the storm. Amasa. Am I pronouncing that right? Ryan, do you want to bring up the website that we use?
Sure.
Amasa. You also notice on the radar here, you can see every single road laid out. So if you know you live on this, anywhere up here in this vicinity of the UP, you can kind of pick out where your road might exactly be on here. So keep that in mind. A little hard to see if you're out there where there's no rain, but when you have the rain, you have the black. You can see the black lines here, every single individual road. So
It's pronounced Amasa.
Amasa, got it. Amasa. Thank you, guys.
That hail core is now crossing US 2 over Fortune Lake, heading toward Erickson Landing, along State Route 141 here, heading into the Michigami Reservoir momentarily. On your screen there, you have the hail core, and now you have the updraft strength there.
I think there you go. Everywhere we see these grays and dark blues in here, that is strong downdraft, usually indicative of some hail. Sometimes we use it for microbursts as well as tornadoes, but in this case, it's right in the center of the thunderstorm, so that is quite the powerful downdraft right now. Heavy downdraft, I should say. KDP radar, there's some grays in there as well. Also, there's a bunch of different radar products that we can use to kind of tell that hail is actually occurring. Obviously, you have vertically integrated liquid product. That's basically just a bullseye. And that, again, is right over Crystal Falls. So if you know anybody in Crystal Falls or you yourself are in Crystal Falls, when it is safe to do so, we do appreciate hail reports, but safety is your number one concern right now. You do want to be away from windows if you're in the severe thunderstorm warning, as it heads into downtown as we speak. Because the storm is moving at 70 miles per hour. This is wind-driven hail. It'll be flying into your windows at 70 miles per hour, so it's not a good time to be near any windows, especially on the southwest side of the house, south or west side of the house, I guess you could say. That is where the storm is coming from.
Yeah, this cell has already crossed US 2, and it's already past Crystal Falls. It is flying to the northeast.
Yeah. Tough to tell if it'll stay together up into Marquette County all the way to the lake, but if it does continue its current path, it is currently on a collision course with Republic and Ishpeming. Depending on if there's much of a wobble here, it's going to be more towards Ishpeming and Marquette. So it looks like it's heading a little bit more to the right now. So downstream, if this stays together and you know anybody in Marquette County, central Marquette County, the populated area here along US 41 from Ishpeming over to Marquette, you'll want to let them know. Severe thunderstorm on the way with quite some large hail, it looks like, at the current time. Other than that, there's no severe thunderstorm warnings in effect right now anywhere in the state. You have a couple rain showers over here in the eastern part of the UP. And nothing downstate. I know there's nothing downstate right now. We're dealing with a lot of sun. So pretty nice day out there overall today for your Monday across the lower peninsula. As you can see right now, not so much here in the UP, especially for Crystal Falls.
We'll also take note here, there's a flood advisory in effect for this general area from the recent rainfall and snowmelt. It's going to be for the Michigami River near Witch Lake.
I put your screen full there for a sec.
Yeah, that green flood advisory there. So this could re-aggravate some of that flooding or perhaps exaggerate it. Places on deck for this storm, zooming way in here. Michigami Reservoir, which is right here I'm circling. Kelso Junction right now. Kiernan right now. Mansfield right now. I don't see any townships this far north, though, on the side of the warning. So next real populated area looks like Witch Lake and Whitbeck here in Marquette County. So obviously probably some sporadic population out here, but no major population centers out ahead of this cell as of right now, besides Kelso Junction and Kiernan.
We'll say rotation has definitely broadened out. Again, that rotation was more in the upper levels. As the storm gets closer to the radar site, that rotation's not mixing down to the surface, so we're not seeing that rotation as much. So this goes to show you that the mesocyclone itself is rotating, but it is not doing such down at the surface. So that is a good thing.
Your SRV is 232/61 if you wanted to update that.
Yeah, it's very kind of junky right there. And some of that is, I believe, probably the hail spike, and it is. So that hail spike is actually being picked up on our velocity radar as well. Look at VIL right now, Ryan. Right over Crystal Falls. VIL is a little bit behind too, so the storm's obviously well off here to the northeast now. Pretty much going to be directly east of Amossaw. Deer Lake Road, Martison Road, Deerfoot Lodge Road, WPA Road, all these roads up here on the hail core. Let's see what else we got up here. McMillan Road still in this, still under the gun here, as well as Channing Road. Channing Road's kind of on the edge, though. It's kind of the eastern extent. New scan. Waiting for velocity to update there. We'll duo screen it here for a second. Those who are just tuning in, the severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 6:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. For ping pong ball sized hail, which is 1.5 inches in diameter, and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Currently, there is not a tornado possible tag on this storm. But if you are in the severe thunderstorm warning, you should be taking shelter now away from any windows, as this is wind-driven hail being blown into the side of your house. We'll say this is pretty much done with the US 2 corridor, so if you're south of US 2 now, you are in the clear from the severe thunderstorm warning, despite the warning still being in effect from you, or for you guys. Still have cells moving in from the south. We'll have to monitor these over the next coming minutes as well.
They just continued that warnings for ping pong ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. They did trim it back though.
Got it.
So it's now basically Crystal Falls in north and east.
Perfect. It's like I was just saying that. Yeah, there's your new warning. Pretty much cuts right through. It actually does not include downtown Crystal Falls anymore. It just cuts outside of it, which makes sense because this storm is now off to the northeast of it as of 2 minutes ago. So still a lot of hail ongoing in here. A lot of clear air as well. That's all this blue here. Kind of matches up with the precipitation, or the lack of precipitation on the left side, as you can see here next to Crystal Falls. So currently, just a hail threat. Perhaps a damaging wind threat in there. These values right now are still about 68 dBz, so that's some pretty big hail. Our AI generated symbol here, courtesy of GR2, says it's about 1.5 in diameter, so matches up well with the severe thunderstorm warning currently in effect. Another scan just came in. There's just a lot of clear air mixing in up there right now. It's very deceiving too, Ryan, because this is on the side of the storm where you would look for damage being lofted from rotation. And so something to keep in mind here, that if you look on the left side of your screen, there's a lot of light rain or lack of rain just mixing in here, and that lines up with clear air. So it's not debris being lofted per se. So. But it does have the classic kind of eagle / kidney bean shape to it, so it is a mini supercell. And that is going to be the case this evening, as our hodographs out there, which are those squiggly lines that we use on our forecast and our forecasting behind the scenes. Big C shapes out there today. We were looking for those big C shapes for supercell development, and we got it. So for those who know the SLIM acronym, shear, lift, instability, moisture, a lot of the S today out there, a lot of shear. Got Ben in chat. Welcome in, Ben. We're not sure how much sleep we're going to get tonight, so hit the like button for our sleep schedules, because I'm sure we'll be up all night monitoring the radar. Whether or not there are severe thunderstorms going on, I'm sure there'll still be a nice squall line moving across the state that will need monitoring no matter what. So whether we're live or not, we'll be up monitoring the radar either way.
We may actually have a break here between this round and the line coming in later on this evening.
Yeah.
So we may have to do a couple parts of coverage here tonight. We'll see how it goes.
Yep. So going back to this line right now, this is the main line today out there in Minnesota. That is going to be heading off into Wisconsin. The system's supposed to do a little bit of a turn, a little bit of a dive to the south, kind of like a clock arm a little bit. So this entire segment will start to bow a little bit to the south, head towards more of northern lower. So we'll have to see how far to the north it extends into the UP as we move into the probably 9-10 o'clock time frame later this evening. But as of right now, nothing in the western portion of the UP yet. That'll probably be again closer to 9-10 o'clock Eastern, 8 to 9 Central time. Waiting for an update here on velocity. The one thing that's probably keeping the storm from rotating stronger right now has got to be that it's positioned from the warm front. So very thankful right now that our warmer temperatures are not further north, because this storm could be doing something other than just hail. So either way, if you're in the severe thunderstorm warning, you do want to be taking shelter. Republic's going to be up next.
You guys are watching from the UP, this affected area. If you have hail reports, we are looking for those. So feel free to either preferably go to our group, Michigan Weather Reports on Facebook, and drop a post in there with your pictures and location and time. Otherwise, our inbox is open, although we prefer you guys to use our group instead of our inbox, because during severe coverage, we get blasted with like 500 to 1,000 messages. It's hard to sort through those. Whereas a group, we can see it all fill in before our eyes. So please utilize our group for reports, and we are looking for all reports tonight. This is getting very close to the end of the warning polygon, so we'll see if they decide to reissue this for Marquette County.
Wow, it's like you know something's going to happen, Ryan.
Is there supposed to be sound with that? Because I don't have anything on my end.
No, this is the old bar, so.
Okay. All right, new warning now for just quarter size hail. So it's back down from ping pong ball, back down to quarters now. So just your typical severe warning, quarter size hail possible, along with 60-mile-per-hour winds for the southwest part of Marquette County. That includes the 95 corridor here from Republic down to the Dickinson County line. Other places included in here, I don't see any townships, just Republic. I see Whitbeck, Witch Lake, and Republic. I'm not sure of everything else, Joel, but that's all I see within this polygon.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we have Humboldt Mine.
Humboldt Mine.
At the very top.
That's the entire, pretty much the entirety of that M95 corridor up there. Just north of if you live north of Channing, south of Republic, that's pretty much the warning for you right now. We'll say that it is further, again, the further this storm gets north, the less steam it's going to have as it runs out of instability. So this will probably be the last, knock on wood, of course, obviously, but this will probably be the last severe thunderstorm warning that is issued for this storm. Just given the, looking at Mezzo behind the scenes right now, and it does not, does not look too supportive going forward. But again, this is what we're seeing in real time. This is a severe thunderstorm currently impacting rural parts of Iron County as it crosses the county line into. It's kind of on 3 different county lines there: Dickinson, Iron, and Marquette. But it is heading into Marquette County right now. So if you live in the extreme northwest corner of Dickinson, though, this is impacting you guys. Newburgh Road. All this is Newburgh Road out here, and then surrounding trails, Garrett Avenue as well, Grouse Lane, Skylark Lane, County Road LJ. All those different road names out there in this neck of the woods in extreme rural Marquette and Dickinson County. So
A report of $quarter to $half size hail near the Iron River area from a viewer of ours, from Allison. So thank you to Allison for sending it into us. Again, $quarter to $half size hail out of the Iron River area.
sweet. Forward that to Marquette.
I'm on it right now.
Cool. So these prefrontals were expected today. This is kind of on time for the UP. But the main line, the main action, the backside of these storms will probably be moving into the UP around 10 Eastern. So you got another 2 to 3 hours here. As these storms roll into the western UP. As you can see right now, they're not visible, but they will be soon. These storms are currently just north of the warm front, so yeah, slightly elevated out there right now in nature, above a little bit of an inversion out there. Further south you get, the less of the inversion you are basically having, essentially. So, closer to the state line, better chance of severe. Also the reason why we saw larger hail possible here in Florence County, Wisconsin, before it moved up towards Crystal Falls, and is now starting to lose its strength a little bit. Still has a classic supercell shape on it. You can see, given the kidney bean shape here, the backwards C. But it looked a lot better previously. It's a good thing, too, because this is going to be heading towards the US 41 corridor, which is a pretty big east-west corridor across the UP. So a lot of people traveling out there this evening. Good point from Summer in chat here. Make sure to utilize MPing. Yeah, if you have the MPing app, you can use that as well. However, a picture is probably the best thing you can do. It's take a picture with an accurate measurement with an exact location if possible. So by accurate measurement, it would be like a coin or a ruler. Obviously, ruler is going to be number 1. But if you have a coin, it's a good reference point, or some sort of athletic ball like a golf ball, tennis ball, baseball, ping pong ball, you name it. All for reference. This movement on this storm is still off to the northeast at 65 miles per hour, so it's moving relatively quickly. Too quickly that it's outrunning the warm front, but it's also a good thing. And in fact, it's kind of moving left a little bit of a left mover there, so it's going to congeal into this massive blob here soon. And that inflow to the south that it currently has is essentially going to get choked off. So yeah, once the storm gets up to the US 41 corridor, this thing's going to be pretty much toast. So subtle foreshadowing there from a meteorological standpoint. But we are looking for hail reports. If you know you have family or friends in Crystal Falls, or you yourself live in Crystal Falls or Alpha or any of the surrounding areas near Amasa, hail likely occurred here, so please send us your reports via our group chat, Michigan Weather Reports, which is a community page on Facebook. Or if you don't have Facebook, you can obviously use our Discord channel. The link to that is discord.gg/Michigan Storm Chasers. That'll be linked in chat here, I'm sure, by the mods here in just a second. There's an individual room in there for photography and damage and survey stuff, so you can send them in there. And obviously you'll want to, same rules apply. Have a exact location, time you took it, and an accurate measurement.
Looks like they just dropped the warning for Iron County. The first initial warning that was issued. They continue the one from Marquette.
Yeah.
Hail core right now has just crossed into Marquette County, heading right toward Whitbeck and Witch Lake. 601-95 corridor here. It's directly over Whitbeck as we speak, just north of Witch Lake. Yeah, the hail tracker on my end is a little bit delayed, but you can see the hail core there very solidly in the purples and pinks.
That's quite the hail. Post on Facebook as well, right?
Yeah, it's on all platforms except Instagram.
Perfect. So thank you, Allison, for sending that in. It is on our Facebook page, our X page, and I believe our Threads page, right?
Mm-hmm. Omega is glitching out on me. This warning has been canceled. It keeps popping in and out of my screen for some reason.
See that?
They did trim the warning back even further now. So it just includes Republic, Whitbeck, Witch Lake, anywhere between these places. There's not too many areas here around this general area. So it's good, but still very sparsely populated areas.
Taking a zoomed out picture of the state of Michigan. Really don't need to look at the lower peninsula because nothing is happening precipitation, thunderstorm wise down there. Right now this is a severe threat only for the UP. Training line of showers and thunderstorms, a couple strong storms, and a lead supercell, which is what's currently warned as it heads up towards Ishpeming. We are also watching these storms back here, circled in this box, right in this region here as it heads towards Iron County again. Right now, just kind of more of a blob at this point, more than anything. Fun fact, Ryan. You see this line on your screen. You probably know about this. This little line right here. Yep. It's a tornado path from back in, I think, the early 2000s. Across through Wisconsin. It was an EF3 or EF4. Still visible on satellite today, and you can see that here. Between White Lake and Mountain, Wisconsin, both of those cities there. This is a heavily forested area of Wisconsin, so easy to kind of mow down a bunch of trees. It's the only thing in the area. show a scar for that long. So cool fact about northern Wisconsin, that is a tornado scar on your satellite. Do we have anything like that in Michigan? Definitely not. But yeah, that is as you can see, you crossed about 3 different counties there in Wisconsin before it ended. That's pretty wide too, over a mile. So, if that ever happened up here in the UP, we would obviously see it, but not for a while, because it takes a while for them to update a satellite view. You need perfect weather conditions. Obviously, satellites only fly over every so often, so you'd have clear skies and the right timing. So, fun fact about satellites, that's why it might take 10, 15 years for satellite to update your location, because they just can't get a good day where it's clear skies. We don't get too many of those here in Michigan.
Yeah, not really too often anymore.
Yeah. Usually during the summer we get a lot of sunny days during the summer, but by the time we get to noon in the afternoon, you get a lot of those instability cumulus fields building because of the lake. So
Thank you, Trisha, for the super chat. Appreciate you. Says thank you to MSC mods and sponsors. Appreciate all you do. Appreciate you too, Trisha. Thank you for that.
yeah, thank you, Trisha.
I'm going to reload Omega because that warning keeps popping in and out.
It's bothering him.
My OCD does not like it. It's still there. Okay. We're going to deal with it. There are some other cells to the west of this current cell. I'm getting an echo on my end, Joel. I'm coming through your speaker pretty loud.
I'll turn off my mic.
To the west of this current cell, there are storms ongoing about to cross the 41 corridor just west of Michigander. This is not currently severe, but it does have a decent hail core on it, probably a pea to maybe penny or dime size on it. Nothing like the one that's currently warned over by Republic, but it does bear some watching here. A similar environment exists for all these storms, although the better environment does push in a little bit later on this evening. I'm not sharing, am I?
No, you're not. I was waiting to see.
I am now.
There you go. Now you get to go over it again.
Yeah, I was just talking about this cell right there. There's not much to track on it, hail core wise. There's a little bit of something there, but definitely not as potent as the one over here by Republic is. But all these storms, I would suggest, have severe potential on a lower scale, but I think our risk is much higher with this line that's going to develop here off to the west a little bit later on. We already kind of see it trying to fill in here, although it is struggling right now to fill in. We go south here to the Minnesota area. The line has really become potent there across the southern half of Minnesota. Up here further north, not much has happened and developed just yet. Excuse me. This warning is for quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. It was for ping pong ball size hail, and now it's downgraded back to quarters.
Yeah.
This is heading directly toward the Ishpeming area. It does still have a decent hail core on it, so eventually here it's probably going to travel close to, if not along 41, probably going to go into the Marquette area. In fact, it's on a beeline for Ishpeming and Marquette.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to watch that. Hopefully it weakens by the time it gets there. But in the event it doesn't, that'd be a problem there for those two cities.
Yeah, this is heading ready for the radar site 2. Radar should be in good standing with the hail that does fall. Though we have seen radar domes take quite the hit before from severe weather. If you get large enough hail or large enough gusty winds, those things can cave in on themselves. So we don't expect any of that here in Marquette and Ishpeming, but radars are not invincible to the elements. Obviously, if you had a tornado, obviously it would be gone, but that has happened before. So We obviously hope that never happens in Michigan because it would take a long time to repair.
Where is the town of Gastra at?
What are you looking for?
Gastra. Town of Gastra.
Could be an
There it
unincorporated
is.
city.
Got it right there. Iron
There you
River.
go.
Perfect. Marquette NWS has confirmed that report from Allison of $1.25 size there in Iron River, as well as ping pong ball size hail in the town of Gastra, which is also just to the east of Iron River. So this storm did, or was at least producing some very large hail as it moved into Iron County. It likely still is producing large hail. The good news is there's not many people around to report that because it's so sporadic in nature with population up here, which is good news. That warning is still on my screen. That box should just be off at this point. Doesn't exist. This storm, however, is still warned. It's also about to run out of its warning polygon here. So we'll see if they extend that warning up to Ishpeming and Marquette here. I assume they would. It looks like the hail core on this is still pretty potent. GR2 indicating hail around $0.50 size. Although they did just cancel the warning. Interesting move there by Marquette. They went ahead and canceled that warning.
I called it. I was like, once it gets up towards US 41, it's gonna lose its steam. There's still some pinks and blacks in there, but it if you look at your CC, that's a lot of clear air going on. VIL, sure, it's still there. ZDR is more updraft than anything right now. It's not a whole lot falling in there. Echo tops are down to about 40,000. They were up by 45,000, but they have since started to diminish, although it's going to start to go underneath the radar a little bit. But yeah, it's a lot of heavy rain right now, Ryan. Looks like.
Yeah, CC, I can see on CC doesn't really support that, but the ZDR, not ZDR, but the VIL still looks quite good in nature. So we'll see. We're going to stay live here for at least a few more minutes. I mean, we're not going to go anywhere anyway. We're going to pop out, probably pop back on. As of right now, though, the closest storm to being severe is likely this one we're watching at the current moment. Looking at CC, there is still sporadic hail within this, so probably still close to maybe penny or dime size. I have to assume with this storm is possible. I wonder if there's a problem with NWS's API right now because that warning is still on our ticker. It's not popping off.
Huh.
Not popping off on Omega either.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's not on GR2 though. Although GR2 pulls from different source, I know that much.
Right. Yeah, it still says severe at the bottom of the screen on mine, as you can see there. Huh.
We can also manually override that if we have to.
Yeah. Give me a sec.
Yeah, if you guys have hail reports, feel free to send them into us. Comment section, group, you name it. We are here for it. There's no warnings now in effect, so we're kind of, we'll say, all clear mode, but also kind of like relaxing right now. So if you guys do have hail reports, now's the time to send those into us. We can communicate that to the NWS in Marquette. And then we're going to probably wait for round 2, if you want to call it that. We could still see a couple of these cells existing in the UP right now become strong or severe, But again, that line we're kind of watching comes in later on, probably closer to 9 or 10 o'clock this evening. Right now, it is struggling to even form. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, see how that trends. It will likely form here in the next 2 to 3 hours.
I am watching this storm near Amosal right now, just past over Iron River. It does seem to be exhibiting a little bit of rotation. But again, it's so far up that it's likely just the meso itself that's rotating and not down at the surface. But we'll keep an eye on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see this. There's pretty much every single storm within this line, Ryan, with the way the shear is out there today. I mean, it's all these mesos are going to be rotating like that. So we're about to get an update from our velocity here in just a second.
Yeah, the latest scan I had was 262 at 58, and it dropped 3 knots. That was the last warning. I'm going to pop my camera off screen, though, and I'm going to try and down some food here while we're in a break.
Okay.
I'll be in the background here.
All right.
I'm always watching.
Yes. Yeah, hail cores from all these storms. Could be a good one coming into Astoria right now, passing just to the east of Herman. This is going to be hitting extremely rural areas of Baraga County. Once it gets north of US 41 there. Really not a whole lot of roads out here. Not a lot of them named either. Cleotex Road. This is all Cleotex Road. Clear Lake Road as well. A lot of these are trails, so they don't really have names. You have it's heading right up Loon Lake Road right now as well. So that cell is something to be watching as it heads up towards Lake Superior there, the higher elevations of Baraga and Marquette County. So you have this hail core. It's heading into Ishpeming. Heading right down County Road 581. About to cross County Road Pi, as in 3.14, as well as Southwood Drive soon. Not severe at the current time, but we are watching. See, our hail reports just came in. Thank you to you guys for sending them in. Iron River, via social media, 1.25 inches. And Gastra, 1.5 inches. Also relayed via us here at Michigan Storm Chasers. So thank you guys very much for your reports. Yes, we do have a Discord. If you guys want to join us on Discord, we do have quite the community there. We have about over 1,700 of you guys on our Discord channel or Discord server. For those who don't know what Discord is, it's essentially like a community forum with a bunch of different topic channels. So there's channels for today's weather, tomorrow's weather, 3 days in advance, etc., etc. You also have off-topic channels. So if you want to talk about just anything off-topic, you talk about sports, you talk about photography, you name it. The Discord server is that place. So if you want to become connected with fellow Michiganders who are also here watching Michigan Storm Chasers, that is the place to be. So check us out on Discord. It is discord.gg/Michigan Storm Chasers. And thank you to Gas for becoming a member once again here at on YouTube, EF0 member. All good. You are forgiven, Gas. Don't worry. Yes, as Summer says, there are also memes that occur in there. Half-inch hail report just came in from 3 miles south of Republic, Michigan. So right here on Maple Street. That was from the storm that was previously severe thunderstorm warned. No longer severe thunderstorm warned, but is heading into Ishpeming in the next 3 minutes. So right now, as it stands, just a line of very strong thunderstorms with a hail threat and perhaps a gusty wind threat. A little bit of elevated rotation out there, but nothing rotating down to the surface at the current time. We'll be watching.
Go ahead and take my screen share back.
Okay, 1 second.
This is the future forecast model here, what we're kind of expecting. We have these cells already popping up in here in the UP area, but this is current time. We go later on this evening. There's our line we're concerned about. This is at 10 p.m. here for reference. This is our biggest concern tonight for severe weather, so it's still to come here. As we move into the evening hours, here's 11 p.m., zooming way out here. Here is 12 a.m. midnight tonight Eastern, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10 a.m. So that line here around the 10 and after time frame is the one to watch.
Don't mind the horn you might have just heard.
We'll have to see what NWS Marquette's radar measures in terms of wind gusts with this storm is going to pass directly over it.
Mm-hmm. I have my window open right now. I'm sorry if you heard that big horn. Everyone jumped.
I didn't hear anything. It's crazy.
Huh.
SWS now coming in for Marquette County.
Okay.
See what it is here. There it is. Winds in excess of 30 as well as pea-size hail. That is a statement, which is not a severe warning, but rather a strong thunderstorm.
That is the lowest level of statement you can get.
30 in P's, yep.
Yep. Lowest tail size, lowest wind. So that is currently on your screen the only storm that is strong, supposedly strong right now. We do have that entire line back off to the west. Take my screen back here. This is the cell that's currently special weather stated. If you are living in Marquette, be on alert right now in the next 3 to 5 minutes, depending on what side of town you're on, for some pea-sized hail and 30-mile-per-hour winds. If you're up and down this entire line here in portions of Iron, Baraga, and western Marquette County, nothing severe. However, a gusty wind, strong gusty wind, and a couple hail reports are possible. If you look at VIL product, which is basically a measure of vertically integrated liquid product or vertically integrated liquid, Nestoria is probably going to be your top option right now for some pea-sized hail besides Ishpeming. Otherwise, not a whole lot showing up on there.
Yeah, not much happening. A lot of strong storms out there, but not severe.
Yeah.
Question is, how long do you want to stay on here?
Right, because
We have more coming later,
we have more
but
coming later.
one of these storms can and might go severe in the next 5 to 60 minutes. So
Let's see.
I gotta pop out at 8 o'clock. Just remember that.
Yep.
Just before 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I think our storms to watch are still on the way later. Probably going to get like an hour break here, hour or two break. Wrap analysis says that this line that's back off to the west is going to fill in.
Yeah, that's what I see as well. And that's
So-
probably gonna happen the next 90 minutes or so.
Yeah, so this area right here in northern Wisconsin is expected to fill in. In fact, if you look in the last couple runs, there's one right here. One cell right over Rice Lake, Wisconsin, starting to pick up steam. ZDR is pretty hot on that. You have a bunch of cells kind of up and down this line here in Minnesota, Wisconsin as well, northern Wisconsin. Up near Duluth, trying to fill in as well. So expect this to probably fill in. Ontonagon, Gogebic counties. Pronounce that right, Ryan, right?
Gogebic.
Gogebic. It's still not out of the woods yet just because that front line is in front of you. It's got line 2 coming that could fill in. So, and as mile run showed, it'll congeal into one big line with this front line at some point. Still quite a couple hail cores there across northern Wisconsin. So, would not be surprised if we see more warnings here soon from this line as it enters Iron and Dickinson County. But I think for right now, we are going to pop off for now. Again, if you're in Marquette, 30-mile-per-hour winds, pea-sized hail. We're no longer in severe ops, so can take a break. We will likely take a break. For those who missed it, 1.5-inch hail was reported in Iron River, thanks to you guys, and half-inch hail report near Republic. Other than that, that warning has expired. Right now, just a bunch of strong thunderstorms going on across west central UP. Nothing severe. We will be waiting and watching eagerly behind the scenes here for any more severe thunderstorms as they roll in later this evening. Again, that action is expected to move into northern lower overnight tonight. So if you know you live in northern lower and portions of the central and eastern UP, that is going to be mainly an after midnight threat. And then for tomorrow, for Tuesday, a lot of the action for the lower peninsula will be likely south of I-69. South and east of I-69. So this kind of section of lower Michigan down here, near Detroit, south of Lansing, most likely. The reason why this is not going to stay sustained overnight is because we have some dry air and a capping inversion that kind of comes in, makes those storms a little bit isolated in nature, chokes off a lot of the moisture that's supposed to be ejected in the region. So you do still have cells, but they're elevated in nature. They could completely collapse in and on themselves, so we have nothing as they move through, as that line moves through West Michigan and refires later in the afternoon for southern Michigan. So there could be portions of West Michigan, central Michigan tomorrow morning that get kind of 1-2 skipped. But we'll have to see. Again, a lot of our models over the last 24 to 36 hours have not been fun to us. They've all been showing different resolutions, but we are definitely watching, and you do want to be prepared to be woken up overnight if you are living up here in the UP and northern lower. Make sure you have weather radios, other ways to receive warning if you go to bed. Got anything else to say, Ryan?
Nope. We're gonna see you guys later, more than likely.
Yeah. Yeah. So, gotta go through ads, our sponsors here real quick.
While you do that, I'm gonna pop out and I'm gonna get prepped.
Okay.
I'll see you guys at likely closer to 9 or 10 o'clock at the latest.
Sounds good. We'll see you soon, Ryan.
See ya.
And before we head off, again, we do appreciate your donations, super chats. Anything keeps Michigan Storm Chasers running. We do also have a plethora of sponsors that also are a big contributor, if I can English here, to our live streams here at Michigan Storm Chasers. Our highlight sponsor of the day is Floor Coverings International of Michiana. Sponsored, it's our Southwest Michigan floor covering sponsor. Number there is 574-850-9417. At the beginning/end of every stream, we do shout these guys out. So thank you, Floor Coverings International, for being our premier sponsor of the day. We also have a couple more to run through here. Storm Guard Roofing Construction out of Detroit. Pro Powder out of Southwest Michigan for powder coating needs. Mike Hayes Roofing and Siding, based out of Sand Lake and St. Clair counties. McKay Tree Specialist, has been based out of Southeast Michigan. Lifestyle Exteriors, your Central Michigan roofing sponsor. Kuiper Tree Care, all your West Michigan tree needs. Katz Roofing and Siding, based out of Lansing, Potterville. Gull Lake Tree Pro, based out of the Kalamazoo County region. FBI Buildings, based out of pretty much the entirety of the Lower Peninsula for all your barn dominium needs. Henkel's Tree Service, all your tree service down there in St. Joseph County. Also have On Top Roofing, based out of Livingston County. Guardian, our Skynet provider there for all of our sky cams across the state. Schneider Commercial Building Solutions, and Shield Public Adjusters, both of those companies based out of Lansing for all your commercial roofing needs and your public adjusting. Those are your two sponsors there. So thank you to all of our sponsors. Round of applause for them for keeping the Michigan Storm Chaser streams going. We thank you guys for sponsoring us. And to all those who have tuned in today, thank you for tuning in. And we will be back again later tonight for likely more severe weather coverage as these lines of storms roll across the state. So stay tuned. We'll be back. Make sure you have ways to receive warning night. And as always, make sure you're following us here on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Twitch. If you're a diehard, you'll follow us on all of those. If not, one will do. But we do recommend to follow us on at least two, so that way in case one of the platforms does go down, you can watch us on the other. So have a great night, everyone. If we don't see you later, sleep soundly, and we'll probably see you later either way. So have a good night. Talk to you soon.